Hey everyone, this is Sonar Wave, and just before I get into this review, I just wanted to say I just finished watching Siege on Netflix. I'm not going to give anything away, I'm not going to talk about it. All I will say is I absolutely loved it. It was well worth the wait. But that's my opinion. We're all entitled to it. But I hope everyone out there enjoyed it as much as I did, or will enjoy it if you haven't yet watched it. And please stay safe. I know it's not looking so good in Victoria and New South Wales at the moment. So please just stay safe and. You may not like wearing them, but if the mask helps in some way to protect you and your loved ones from getting COVID-19, doesn't that make it worth wearing it when you go out? Anyway, I loved Siege. I do recommend you watch it and just go into it with an open mind and give it a fair shot. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but that's a great thing about this fandom. There's so much variety and there's something for everyone to like. What we seem to forget is that everyone's entitled to like and dislike what they don't. And we need to respect each other's decisions. You may not like G1, you may hate it, but it is the reason the franchise exists today. You may not like the Bay movies, you may hate them, and I'm not a huge fan myself. They have their good and their bad points, in my opinion, but they also, in their own way, gave new life to the franchise. They brought in new fans, new collections, enabled more TV series. They enabled this. The new toy line. I mean, we've been given Omega Supreme. We've been given Scorponok. Everything has its good and its bad points. We need to respect each other's choices. And that's the important thing, and that's what we seem to forget. So just in the future, remember, you have your right to your opinion, but be respectful of other people's as well. Treat them how you want to be treated. Anyway, tonight, because, well, it's nighttime when I'm filming this, you'll probably see it at some point in the daytime, but I am filming this at night. So we are looking at the Pop Vinyl Funkos from Digimon, and I'm doing a double because, well, you can't have Tai without his trusted partner, Agumon. I unfortunately haven't been able to get the other two in this line just yet, but as there's a full body shot of Tai, and on the back you can see all four are in this line. I haven't been able to get Matt or Agumon. Eventually I will. I just haven't had any luck yet. Agumon is very much the same in the box art, except it's just, well, focused on him. As for Tai, I don't think they've done a bad job. He's got his trusty goggles, which affectionately earned him and I think every leader at the Digidestined who came afterwards the nickname Gogglehead. Because every leader has worn goggles. I never saw season 5, but I know seasons 1 to 4, they did wear goggles. Davis had his own goggles in season 2, but they broke, I think, in the first episode. So Ty handed his over to Davis. So I don't remember how exactly they were worn in season 3. I don't remember the leader's name either. I've not ever been a huge fan of season 3, but Takuya, if I remember correctly, used to wear a hat underneath his goggles. He used to have an actual hat on backwards, from memory. But they've done nicely with his hair sculpt. They've got his rather unruly hair, and it is unruly hair, and his Digivice, which glows orange when his partner is about to digivolve to Ultimate. And it glows orange because that is the colour of his crest, the crest of courage. Of course, his sneakers, because he was at summer camp when he first went to the digital world. So he is dressed for that. They all were, which is why they were running around everywhere in summer clothing. And then, of course, we have his trusty partner and best friend, Agumon, who is, I think, supposed to be like a little dinosaur. A T-Rex, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but I always liked his adorable little tail. Agumon himself wasn't ever my favourite. I liked him, he just was never my favourite. But I did absolutely love Wargreymon, and eventually I'd like to have a figure of Wargreymon in my collection, along with, of course, Metal Garurumon, because Ty and Matt are, well, as close as brothers, I suppose, in their own way. Best of friends, best of brothers. But they've done well with Agumon as well. You can see his little claws on both his hands and his little toesies. His little teeth. Then of course there's his little tail. And then his teeth. I'm happy with them. I hope eventually we'll get more of the Digidestined and their partners. Eventually I will pick up Matt and Gabumon. I'm just going to be able to get my hands on them first. But I picked these up from my local Zing EB game store here in Australia, worldwide. Maybe Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth have them. eBay, possibly. But these days I'm not a big fan of eBay, especially with all the scalpers floating around, and quite frankly, they're only getting worse. Especially with the new crossover stuff coming out and all the exclusives, it gets ridiculous. So if you can find them on eBay or somewhere like that for a good price, I'd snap them up if you want them. They're well worth adding to the collection if you're a Digimon fan, or if you specifically like Ty and Agumon, as I said, you're just a fan of Digimon in general. It was part of my childhood. It was one of the early animes that I grew up watching, so I've always held a deep love for seasons 1 and 2. Season 4 would have to be my third favourite, and then season 3 would be my least favourite of the 4 that I've watched. I never truly liked season 3. It never made a whole lot of sense to me. I haven't watched the new version of Digimon. I know that they've redone it, and it's currently floating around on Crunchyroll and that. I haven't actually watched it yet. I will eventually. I've heard really good things about it, and from the bits and pieces I have seen, it does look good. So I'm hoping it is. But in the meantime, that's all from me. I'll be back with another video soon. I can't actually remember what's next on my list. But I will catch you on the next one.